Alrighty, good afternoon, Arkansas. This is Assistant Chief Forecaster Cameron back here once again. I'm here to give you guys a video blog on what to expect as we get towards the Halloween time frame. I'm going to go over that, and I'm also going to go over next week as well here. So we could potentially be dealing with much below normal temperatures coming our way as we get towards next week here. So this video blog is going to be about 15-20 minutes long. It's going to be a lot to talk about, so just stick with me and you'll get all the information you need here. So speaking of much below normal temperatures here, get a load of today, guys. I told you guys first thing this morning that it was going to be a chilly, a windy, and a raw day across Arkansas here. January is paying us an early visit across Arkansas today here. We got scattered showers rotating around an upper level low that has just been positioning itself over Arkansas. This low is going to start moving to the east as we get towards tomorrow here. However, west to northwest winds coming at about 40 to 45 miles per hour over there in western Arkansas here. As a matter of fact, let's go and talk about wind gusts right now here. So I'm going to overlay the current radar with wind gusts at this point. It has been really strong across western Arkansas for today here. So we've got wind gusts at about 30 to 40 miles per hour here. Back out towards Oklahoma, you've been dealing with 40 to 45, even 50 mile per hour wind gusts over here. You've actually had some power outages over there in Oklahoma today here. So a very windy, a very rainy, and a very chilly day across Arkansas at this point. One of those days that you just don't want to go anywhere. You want to relax. In bed, watch a movie, etc. And tonight's going to be more of the same here. So tonight, winds are going to be gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour, even in some cases up to 40, maybe even some 50 mile per hour wind gusts across western Arkansas. These are non-thunderstorm winds. We're not expecting any sort of severe weather or anything like that. No major systems coming our way. It's just the fact that the wind behind the system here, and I can actually draw this out for you guys, is going to be gusting at about 40 to 45 miles per hour. So here's the low right here, and then there's your westerly, northwesterly winds coming in behind it, guys. So very, very strong westerly to northwesterly winds coming in behind this system. And temperatures have been accounted for that here. So let's talk about temperatures real quickly here, guys. The temperatures have been more the same here. So right now, we've got temperatures here. And I told you guys before this morning, up here in northern and northwestern Arkansas, I wouldn't be shocked to see temperatures struggling to get out of the 40s today. So right now, we've got 46 degrees in Fayetteville, 54, in Fort Smith, 50 in Mountain Home, 54 in Clinton, 54 in Russellville, 55 in Little Rock, a little bit warmer in eastern Arkansas than I gave credit for. Temperatures were able to gradually get up into the mid to upper 50s here. So we did have a 60-degree reading down there in El Dorado earlier. It has dropped off to 57. We're at 61 right now in Texarkana here. But you can definitely see the winds coming in behind the system here and a real temperature difference here. So you're at 48 right now in Fayetteville. You're at 70 degrees in Eden, Oklahoma at this point here. So a contrast between those westerly winds and then those northwesterly winds, because what's happening is this low is pulling down that colder air on its western side here, but on this far western side over here, what's going on is you're getting away from the low, your temperatures are actually beginning to warm back up because of the fact that another cold front is going to be making its way towards our neck of the woods over the next 72 to 84 hours here, which brings us towards the Halloween time frame. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about that real quickly here, guys. So we're going to go over to that real quickly here. Bear me for just a bit. I'm going to switch this over to that at this point. So just a second. There we go. Alright, so this is the name on here. I kind of speed blitzed this to the weekend here. So we're talking right around Saturday afternoon. 50s across northern Arkansas, 60s, mid-60s across the natural state here. Now, what's going to happen is, as we get towards Sunday here, and even step back for a second, you can even see with all that dry air and cool air in place, may have some upper 30s up there in northern Arkansas, higher elevations. We'll have to watch that real closely here, but I don't buy temperatures that cold as of now, but we'll check into it as we get towards the weekend. Now, we get towards Sunday here. Now, what's going to happen is your front boundary is going to crash into Arkansas. So there's your front here coming into northwest Arkansas. We've got 40s and 50s behind it, 60s and low 70s out ahead of it. So by the time we get towards Sunday night, what's going to happen is your front boundary is going to slowly make its way into Arkansas, and it's going to stall out. So that means the potential of rainfall coming our way as we get towards next week here. So let's go ahead and talk to you guys about that real quick. This is the GFS, by the way. I switched models. Okay, so here we are. Here's the front boundary coming in. And then as we get towards Tuesday, what happens is the front boundary makes it in Arkansas, and then you're going to have a disturbance that's going to come out from Texas, and it's going to ride along the front boundary here. So what happens is late Tuesday and Wednesday, heavy rainfall will start to build across western and northern Arkansas, and then overtake the state as we get towards Wednesday here. So that's what's going to bring the heavy rainfall chances to Arkansas as you get towards early next week. And also, I just remember I skipped over Halloween for some reason, so we're going to go back for just a second. So Halloween right now, the trick-or-treaters right around 7, 8 o'clock. We're talking temperatures in the 40s, low 50s up there in northwest Arkansas, and in 60s across the rest of the natural state. And rainfall right now is very, very limited on Sunday here. So it should be perfect weather for the trick-or-treaters here. I just remembered, I was on this model, and then I remembered Halloween here. So that's what we got going at this point. So let's talk about GFS once again here. Now, this is where it's going to become a little bit interesting as we get towards next week here. Alright, so front boundaries through here. Let's show you guys that on the temperature profile real quick. So here's temperatures real quickly here. So your front boundary stalled out in south central Arkansas. You've got a disturbance that's running along it. Right now, I do not have any sort of winter precipitation chances here in Arkansas. Okay? That will be limited to Missouri. Now, this will depend on where the front boundary stalls out. Okay? If it stalls out in the Arkansas-Louisiana border, you may, and I want to be 100% clear about this, you may have a shot, especially across southern Missouri and far northern Arkansas, for the potential of some light winter precipitation chances if the front boundary makes it that far south. Right now, it is a question on where the front boundary is stalling out. Remember, GFS had this about 16 days out, was talking about the potential, and now we're seeing it. So, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and draw this out for just a bit. Give me 1 second, I'm going to pull it up real fast here. Okay, so this is the cold front. So the cold front is draped across northern Texas and southern Arkansas at this point. So what's going on is you've got northerly winds coming in, northeast winds coming in into Arkansas, and then you got southerly winds coming in the natural state. Alright? So this is a setup for heavy rainfall across the natural state. A cold, moderate rainfall across much of Arkansas. Alright? Depending on where this front boundary stalls out, will determine what happens up here in southern Missouri and in northern Arkansas. We will have to wait and see. I do not buy it. I'm 100% confident on the heavy rain and the cold rain, but the potential winter precipitation right now looks very, very slim, and I think the better shot will be across Kansas and up there into Missouri where your colder temperatures are. So we'll have to watch it closely here, but regardless, guys, this is potential daytime highs on Wednesday, and this is just not limited to GFS. Canadian has it, and the European model has it as well. Temperatures struggling to get out of the 40s across northern Arkansas, and the rest of the natural state, upper 40s to low 50s across the board here. So that is a cold rain coming our way as we get towards Wednesday of next week here. So let's show you guys that graphically here. So this is a rainfall that's over our heads as we get towards Wednesday here. So we will have to watch that closely here, but this gets out of the way real quickly here. Now what's going to happen as we get towards the end of next week, a reinforcing shot of colder air will start moving down into the natural state here. Now, there is the potential, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this graphically. This is next Sunday, by the way, the 7th. There is the potential up here in southern Missouri, northern Arkansas, for the potential of our first freeze of the season. The rest of the natural state will run for the potential of a frost as we get towards next weekend here. We will have to watch it closely here as we get towards next week into next weekend. But guidance is starting to indicate that potential, especially for northern Arkansas, for the potential of a freeze up there as we get towards next weekend. So we'll have to watch it closely here, guys. Euro, as a matter of fact, and surprisingly enough, is actually colder than the GFS here. So that's what we got going at this point. let me go ahead and go back over to our precipitation here. So no precipitation at this point. I'm going to take you guys out beyond 240 hours out here. There's another disturbance that may come in Arkansas here. So a wet pattern headed our way as we get towards next week and even into the following week here as we kickstart next month here in Arkansas. So this is the European model, all right? Euro's more the same. We go ahead and show you guys this real quickly here. So this is on Halloween. All right, fundamentals draped from southern Missouri to Illinois down into Oklahoma and into far northwestern Arkansas up there towards Benton County. So this is going to start pushing down into Arkansas as we get towards Sunday afternoon here. Now, I'm not expecting severe weather, and the main reason why is this. I'm going to show you guys this graphically. So, dew points in the 40s, okay? You're not going to get a lot of moisture return out ahead of this front until we get the disturbance. And by then, all that cooler air is going to be here in Arkansas. So I'm not expecting any sort of severe weather. Now, down there in Texas and Louisiana, that may be a different story. We'll have to watch it closely down there. But I'm not expecting any sort of severe weather here in Arkansas over the next, I would say, over the next 10 to 14 days here, guys. I'm not expecting any sort of severe weather here in Arkansas. So this is just dew points here. You can see with the front boundary kind of hanging into Arkansas. I'm not expecting any sort of severe weather here. Now, let's go ahead and take this out to where we are Wednesday here. Now, this is what I'm talking about, okay? This is the European model, by the way. I do not buy it at this point here, but I cannot rule out, depending on where that fundamental stalls out, the area of winter precipitation up here for southern Missouri and into far northern Arkansas. I cannot rule it out at this point. We will have to watch it closely here over the next couple of days. And I know a lot of people are going to see this and they're going to take off with it. We're not expecting a winter storm here in Arkansas. Okay, it's not going to be a winter storm. It's not going to be anything major. But I cannot rule out some cold rain mixed in with some snow flurries, maybe some sleet pellets up there in far northern Arkansas and into southern Missouri. We will have to watch it closely. We'll keep you guys informed on that. But that's what the European model is wanting to do at this point. So we'll have to watch it closely. And also upper level temperatures here. So this is 850 millibar temperatures real quickly. So this is what I'm talking about. All right. So this is Wednesday afternoon, by the way. All right. -1 to -2. So that's below freezing temperaters aloft. All right. So let's go ahead and talk to you guys about temperatures here. So surface temperatures up here in the 30s. All right, so what would happen if the European model verified? Cold rain for all of Arkansas, except for the northern portions, the higher elevations. We will have to watch it closely as we get towards the Wednesday time frame here. But right now, there's just a great amount of uncertainty on all that, and even 925 millibar temperatures here, 0 to -1 up here in far northern Arkansas and in southern Missouri. This is just the European model right now, okay? Just the European model. I can show you guys the GFS. GFS is much warmer, which is surprising because normally it's the other way around. All right, so this is Wednesday, okay? Your 546 millibar line. All right, that line is notorious for separating cold rain to a mix depending on upper level temperatures and your surface temperatures. So right now, let's go ahead and talk about it. Okay, so this is Wednesday afternoon, upper 30s, low 40s. All right, surface temperatures, 925. All right, 0 to -1. So that tells me what's going on. Let's go to 850 real quick. So 850 is around 0 and -1 to 2 here. All right, so rain, all the way through the upper profiles of the atmosphere, and then rain at the surface. In Missouri, it's different. It's snow, rain, freezing into little balls, and then melting a little bit coming down on the surface. So that would mean rain mixed in with some sleet up here in up here in southern Missouri. So we'll have to watch it closely. Those upper level temperatures are going to vary depending on what guidance you go off of right now. So it is a wait and see at this point here, but right now that's just something that we're going to monitor. But regardless, guys, a cold rain coming our way as we get towards next week here. So let's go ahead and talk to you guys about the potential of a freeze here. Now, if you go Euro, This is what the European model does. And for some reason, the European model is much colder than the GFS. Euro has temperatures in the 20s up here. This would represent a widespread freeze across southern Missouri and in northern Arkansas. And even down to central Arkansas, you have the potential for freeze and then a frost down into southern Arkansas. So there's a lot that we're going to watch very closely over the next couple of days here. Daytime highs, get ready. 40s and 50s for highs, overnight lows in the 20s and 30s here. I know a lot of people were like, my app said 70s for next weekend. 70s next weekend is very unlikely at this point here. We're going to have a reinforcing shot of colder air moving down to Arkansas. I think the majority of that colder air may skip us to the north and east into the Ohio Valley, which will be saving us from a widespread freeze. However, we will have to watch those temperatures closely as we get towards next week. We'll keep you guys updated right here in your source for all things Arkansas weather.